The views expressed by our guests in the following video are solely the opinions of our guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and or opinions of the Ola 7 podcast show. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the Sportlight with Yvonne Mangunda. As usual, we're bringing you a big sporting personality to talk about their journey, where they've been, where they are, and where they expect to be in the future. Today is no different, except we are not talking to a big football player. We're not talking to a big administrator. We're not talking to a journalist or a fan as we usually do. Today, this is the second time I've had a widow of a very, very popular football player on the show. Remember, we once had Mike Shire on the show, and today we are talking about one of the most, I don't know where you've been, or if you don't know, or if you're young, if you don't know about the great George Chigova. And in the studio, I've got his widow. No, what Mike Chigova? I see Mike Chigova. Full name. Don't was that no. Full name, Tichi.
Hi YV.
How are you?
All right, before we start, I would like to say Nematambuziko to Brian Bander's family.
Yeah.
And my full name, Noktula Mangena Chigova.
Noktula. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how to start this interview, because you don't know if you want to start at the start or you want to start at the present. So I will start with the present.
All right.
How has it been? It's been 2 years now.
It's been 19 months.
19 months.
Yeah.
How has it been? How's life been without George?
Honestly, I don't have the right words. Like it's difficult. It's a bit of both. He was the greatest part of my life, so obviously it's not going to be the same.
And how has been the grieving process? Because sometimes in our society we have a certain way we want people to mourn or not mourn. Have you felt that pressure to mourn in a certain way?
But not really, YV. If I'm going to be very honest with you, like when it comes to my husband, I don't let anyone tell me how to mourn my husband. Like I have people telling me that, you know what, you can be posting him every now and then. He was my husband for 11 years. So I'm not going to be told how to mourn someone that I've known for more than 11 years. I do mourn him myself the way I feel is right.
And the reason I asked that is because obviously I stalk you on TikTok. So I've seen people react to certain ways, like trying to tell you how to mourn your husband and say, maybe you're on poster, or why are you posting, or why are you putting on this tattoo? You know, those things where people want to determine for a person how to mourn the person that they were with.
That's people. I think I've come to accept that, like, people, they want to tell us how to live our lives, but my life without indirarame YV yangu inozorara mwanani ndikachema murume wangu the way they want me to mourn my husband. Vavo, how are they going to do it? Like, this was my husband, not anyone's husband. So people, they must just allow me to mourn my husband the way I feel like, you know, doing it.
And when we talk about your life with George, like, I didn't only start stalking you after he died. I'd been stalking you before.
Oh, wow.
You guys were so, like, you were so in love. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but the pictures were beautiful. What we saw online was beautiful. Like, you guys loved each other very loud. And when we talk about that love, let's go through the journey. Where did you meet George?
I met George in 2011, before he joined Dynamos. It happened that I was bringing my sister's daughter from South Africa. Like, she was still very little, and we met by airport. Yeah, I paid somebody by airport. I didn't know who George was. I think I dated him for about 3 months, not knowing Kuti. I just fell in love with his height. I love tall with dark handsome.
And he was
guys.
tall.
And my husband was very tall. So yeah.
So you were not like a footballer. What do I call it? You know, like there are women who are sort of like groupies, and they know football players. They date football players. They go from one football player to another.
No, I wasn't a groupie because remember I moved to South Africa I think in 2005. So obviously what was happening in Zimbabwean football, I wasn't much aware. I moved to South Africa when I was very, very young. So when I met him, I didn't know who he was. I just fell in love with his height. I didn't know.
So you never dated a football player before?
I have before. Like my
Mazita kana utatiswe na
Mazita.
Okay, but was it one? Was it two?
It was one.
It was one. A goalkeeper.
Yes.
You love goalkeepers.
You're asking me the question that you know. Why V?
No, I know. I know, but it's so you're saying for goalkeepers. So it's the height.
I think
it's the height.
Yes, it is the height. But I'm not gonna say. I know you know.
No, I know. But I'm not. We're not gonna. That's what I say. Because the thing with this show, I always tell people like I don't give my guests like questions beforehand. Everything is very authentic, but at the same time, I try to respect what a guest wants to say and what they don't want to say for reasons known to them. So that's why I gave you an opportunity to say, if you want to say, you say. If you don't want to say, it's fine.
It's okay.
So we're not going to say, but so you start dating George, and guys. Like, how did you handle that? Or it wasn't evident early days that, you know, there are women, obviously, like I said, there are women that would say, I want to date this guy. I want to date this guy. I want to date a footballer. Vakapezama games, they're all up in the space trying to get their attention.
YV, on that one, I think it depends with the person that you're dating or the person that you're married to. Like one person can choose to be a family man, the other person can choose to entertain those ladies. So obviously it's up to the men. Do you want to protect your woman or what? I never like everything that you saw on social media. Obviously no marriage is perfect in my ups, in my downs, but most of the things that you saw on social media when it comes to me and George, that was our life. If I tell you, Kuti, even after his passing, when I unlocked my husband's phone, like, there was nothing, really. There was nothing.
Okay, so I just had a light bulb moment. I just had that moment like, oh my gosh, one day if my husband dies before me, I hope I don't find anything. when you spoke about your husband, because
you go through the emails, you go through like the Instagram. The funny part about his Instagram, it was linked to mine. It's only that like the week that he died, I just stopped going into his Instagram.
So you saw
his Facebook. Like Facebook, I've messages from girls with Facebook.
No, I don't know. You saw like, people will be like trying to get his attention.
Yes.
Because I'd be like, I
know them. And the funny thing, some of them, like, they come my check over, how are you keeping? How are the kids? Yet you're in my husband's DM. I know, but I'm not, I'm not a dramatic person. But I know.
So how long did you date before you got married?
3 months.
Mama was 3 months.
Yes, 3 months. Then I had to move from South Africa and I came back to Zim. 3 months. Like I think we both knew. George, I think George matured very, very early. That's why sometimes I feel like God knew that we only had 11 years together, 11 years of marriage together, and like he matured very, very quick. We dated for 3 months.
So when you dated, that's the time when he was now at Dynamos, right? Because I remember seeing pictures of you guys kissing over the fence.
Yes. I was wearing a yellow jersey.
Yes.
Yeah. That was George for you, Ivy. Like, it's only that picture that you're seeing, it's the picture that was taken. But whenever I would go to watch soccer, like my husband did this thing, I would say after game, he would come look for me and he would kiss me, like ask me, like, baby, how was it? That was
and how was the feeling? Like, this is George Chigova, guys. How was the feeling? Yeah?
To me,
because I know the reason why I ask these questions, because having worked around football players and having traveled football players, guys, there are thirsty women out there who will be hunting these boys down. So to be the one, and you know, and no kutindini.
Yes, and then didn't for real thoughts. It was like, to me, it's normal. It was normal. It was like just dating somebody who goes to work, 9 to 5. It was normal. It was okay. It's only that the attention. If I tell you that I only got to have like a lot of followers after my husband's passing, but that time it was just normal. It didn't feel like,
And what was his routine like? Before a game, we always hear these myths. A football player in the same space name cards before games, or and all that stuff. What was his routine? What sort of person was he before a game? Was he the same? Did you withdraw and focus on the game? What sort of person was George?
Honestly, one thing about my husband, he was very prayerful. We were both very, very prayerful. Other than that, like Morume and Mkazi, they are not supposed to be together before the game. In our house, it never worked unless if they go
camping.
Otherwise, besides that, it did not, like, it was just normal. It's only that we would pray, we would fast.
So sorry to intrude. You can answer this or not answer this, but I just want to answer because there's a myth to say football players before a game, they're not supposed to be intimate with their partners because performance. Did that affect your relationship?
Not even. Like Indiana kaunza that thing, because you can stay away from each other for a few days or for a week. You still go to the game and you lose it anyway. So it's just, I don't know how it works. To me, it doesn't really make sense. Sorry to say, but honestly, YV, it doesn't really make sense.
And how was it like as a wife of a footballer? Because obviously there's always change and move where you have to go from one team to the other. All right, YV, that's the thing with me. Like, soccer is our life, so I don't have one team that I support, because I know that we can stay at this team one season, then we move on to the next. Now I'm forced to, like, obviously I'll support whatever that my husband is playing for, whatever that's bringing food on the table, so I'll support that. So I don't really have a team that I'm too attached to. Maybe only Dynamos, not because he played there, but because of how they helped me kuchema murumwangu and everything. Like, everyone who has been there for me after George's passing, obviously they become family. So I don't really have one team that I support. So is that a hint to us that they treated you well after his passing, or they supported you after?
They supported me during the after things that happened. Yvonne, there are a lot. Trust me, you don't wanna know. It's just a whole lot. And I believe Kutizweni, when George died, he passed on with his friends, his supporters, his bosses, and everyone else. So to me, like, the world doesn't owe me anything. Like, the person that they supported is gone, so I'm okay with it. But with Dynamos, it was that support they gave me back after George. And when I say support, I'm not talking about financial. YV, the support that I need the most is the emotional support. That thing, not, So Dynamos, I respect them because, like, they came all the way. Like, especially when I'm saying Dynamos, I'm not talking about the bosses or anything. No, I'm talking about the fans. I'm talking about the supporters. I'm talking about people that loved George, people that supported George. I'm not talking about the bosses or anyone.
But was it a realization before, after he died, how much he was loved?
That's what hurt me the most. That I'm sure since you said you stalked me on TikTok, my speech is even there. The one that I did in South Africa, in the one that I did this side, I was like, I really wish he was there to smell his flowers. Like, I never realized that my husband was loved that much till his passing. The only time that I felt Kuti he was supported was, you know, he was the king of serving penalties. We can't talk about penalties and not talk about my husbands. We can't talk about penalties and not talk about George.
And when we talk about that, when we talk about his death, let's rewind. What happened? Like when he died, had he been sick for a while? What happened? And the actual day and the events up until you found out or you heard or you noticed that he was dead.
All right, YV. Please bear with me. This is a very, so I think Pakapera season, Super Sport, they wanted him. They even put a new contract on the table. So his manager was like, George, you know what? Looking at your age, the next contract that we're going to get, like whether you are playing or not, now it's about money. We need to take money. That is what Steve said to him. So the contract was there for SuperSport, but it wasn't that, but it was there. So what then happened is the manager was like, no, let's delay this. Let's not tell SuperSport Kuti we have something on the table. So he would go train with the others. So when they did my medicals, murumo wangu mbama wanga in a problem ye high blood pressure, like everyone from my father-in-law wanga in that history ye blood pressure. So like his BP was high. So the team doctor was like, George, let's just book you Kuti when they check your heart. Then they did. I remember it was a Friday, in July. He woke up, he's in a good mood, he's going there. But when he came back, I'm like, babe, how did it go? Whatever. Then my husband started crying. And I obviously knew something was terribly wrong. That's one thing about my husband. He was very, very emotional. He would cry. So he started crying. So I left him. I tried to comfort him. He was getting worse. So I didn't want him to tell me the results because obviously I knew. Like if you see that tall, dark, handsome, or gentle giant husband of mine crying, you must know that something is wrong. So then after we spoke about it, like for him it was the way the doctor delivered the news to him that you know what, you have to stop playing soccer, wara. So he then called the manager. Then the manager was like, no, it's okay, George, you can hang the boots and whatnot. Then my husband said to the manager, I don't play soccer for money. It's my life. And my decision to retire is not going to be based on one doctor. I'm not going to do that. Like, we need a second opinion. Then Steve is like, it's okay. It's not a problem. Then we went to Pretoria, like the big heart hospital in Pretoria. We went there to the med clinic. Then the doctor was like, but what's on the report and what I'm seeing here, it's totally different. What is this doctor talking about? Like, retiring is the last thing that you can do. Then now we are confused. We don't really know what's happening. Like, no, we can try the medication. Then we see how it goes. Like, okay, he started. So he would go for my checkup. Okay, that was in July. He would go for my checkups. Okay. And the doctor the other time, like if I tell you Kuti was cleared in October, on the 16th of October, he was cleared. Kuti, he can now go back for training soccer and whatnot. He was cleared on the 16th. So while he was taking his medication, so while I'm there, like I also want to clarify something because I feel like the Zimbabweans, they roasted me left, right, and center when the video of us at church came out. Mm-hmm. Like, and even I remember Shadaya, I know he's going to make a post for me after this. I remember even Shadaya was like, this is what happens when you listen to your wife, wada. It was more like I took George to my prophets, and the prophet told him to stop the medication, of which that's not what happened. Like that church, my sisters, they attend that church. So I happened to go, it was on a Thursday. I went to church. I don't remember if it was Thursday or Wednesday. I went to church. When the prophet was walking out, YV, he stopped by me. He told them, the cameraman and the other guy, could see like, but this mic. Then, because he was walking out of church, he was done with church, he was going. Then he just passed by me. Then he said to me, where is your husband? I'm like, he's at home. But I'm seeing a problem, but then like I'm not seeing anything. I'm like, anything to do with church, my husband's he doesn't, but anything to do with church, because we'd go to church, we'd go to Masowe. He doesn't have a problem with that. He's like, okay, can you come on Friday? I went home. I'm like, babe, you know what? I met up a prophet. He said, you must come to church and whatnot. Because that was my first time going to that church. The Friday that I went with George, it was now the second time when we went together. So when he saw George, he prayed for George. It's like, I'm not seeing anything. That prophet did not tell George to stop his medication. If I tell you, he's one person who said something that made sense to me, but it only made sense after George had passed away already. Because he said to George, I want you to, like when you get home, panic clip, I don't know, whoever put that, I think they just wanted the world to think, could see in any bad person or that prophet told George to stop taking his medication, but that was not the issue. He said, when you get home, I want you to pick up your phone. You need to call everyone. Or just send messages. Make peace with everyone. Even when they don't wish you well. They don't want you to succeed in life. You know they are bad. Like just text and check up on them. Make peace with everyone. That is what that man said. So to me, after my husband's passing, that's when it made sense. Okay, did he see it already? Because at the end of the day, he's not God. If something is meant to happen, of which I don't think my husband was meant to die, but that is what he said. Like, make peace with everyone. YV, who can just come to you and say, YV, when you get home, text, I want you to make peace with everyone. But it's only that, like, I did not understand it that moment. It made sense after. So what then happened? He continued with his medication. 16 October, he was cleared. And on Wednesday, 15 November 2023, at 10:35, that's when I got the shock of my life. Like, there are different stories out there that he collapsed while he was at training. That's not the truth. Or he died in his sleep. That's not the truth. So this is what happened. I was busy undoing my hair. Then the day before, it's like, baby, you know what? It's too late. Come, I'll undo your hair in the morning, because I don't think I'm gonna go to gym with Daddy Come. I remember they were off season. Yes, they had a break. No, they were not off season. They had a 4-day break. So Supersport was not training, so they would go to the gym with Daddy Kama. So it's like, I don't think we are going to the gym. And that morning they were even debating about them. Should they go? Should they not? It's like they were busy with the charts. Should they go? Should they not go? And whatnot. So it's like, I will undo your hair in the morning. I'm like, okay. Then we went to sleep. In the morning, I think around 9, he woke me up, because I sleep very late. He woke me up. He's like, okay, babe, can wake up so that I can do your hair. I'm like, I'm first one. Yeah, training, you wanna wake up the whole house. I'll wake up just now. Are you hungry? Must I make you something to eat? He's like, no, like, you just warm up my beans at Zango. Like, my husband loved to eat beans. I mean, the food. I'm talking about beans, the food. So it's like you can just warm that up later when I'm not hungry at the moment. I'm like, okay, cool. So that was around 9:30. I don't know what happened. Why? I just slept. I spoke to him at 9:30. So now this is my daughter. Like Tino was 8 at that moment. Because remember, 9:30, I slept. Then Tino, when Tino is explaining, Tino is like, I came to get Daddy's charger at soon after you slept. Then Daddy was like, Tino, you must bring back my charger at 10. I want to charge my phone because there's load shedding coming at 12. Then Tino said she brought back the phone. It's exactly 10:02. 10:02, my daughter brings the phone. Then vakatotaura, because like ipapa vakataura ndo vakatota, I'm a very light sleeper. Because 2:10 they spoke. Tina gatoti, my phone is not fully charged yet. So I could hear them because ndandaitaka kumuka. Then immediately I fell asleep again. So Tino then went to take a shower. Remember those people, they were talking less than 15 minutes ago. At 10:35. That's when she screamed. Now I'm deep into sleep. I don't know what happened. I think he just made me sleep like that. I'm a very light sleeper, but that moment, those few minutes. So scream. Our bed was very huge. We had he was a big man. So when I woke up, I just woke up, I stand on the bed. I'm like, Tino, why are you screaming? I was like, I'm the only one in this house who slept with her eyes open. Daddy does not sleep like this. That's when I turned around. I found my husband, like the eyes were slightly open, the mouth slightly open. Then the hands were just, But that moment, I never thought Kuti, he was gone. To me, like I could tell that something was seriously wrong, but I didn't know Kuti dying was that easy. Like, to me, when you look at someone, Kuti, something is not right. He was like, his series was playing. I think it's just his heart just, because he was watching series, his heart just decided to play us dirty because I didn't expect it. He was okay. And I remember and before inside deep into sleep. I remember George was very prayerful, Ivy. I remember him praying. Then he went on to shower. So my question was like, why make me sleep for those 15 minutes that I can't hear anything? And everything. And what hurt me the most on that day was like, why my daughter? Like, I was like, God, okay, you took away the father, but why make Tino being the first person to see this? To me, it didn't make sense. Like, I still have questions that I don't have answers to. I still have a lot of questions. So what then happened is I could tell that something is seriously wrong. My niece was there. I called them like, Pia, come. That moment you're not thinking. If I tell you, we tried to lift that big man, we could see that it's not working. Then I had to run downstairs. And then I remembered that I was not dressed. I took the towel, I was just screaming. So in our estate, the lady who stays opposite, the Indian lady, had me. I'm like, okay, can you please call the paramedics? My husband is not waking up, because I tried to wake him up when Tino screamed and I saw like George wake up. He wasn't. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to call up so for that, he's going to wake up. Then but the lady called. I'm thinking, okay, while I'm waiting for the paramedics, like they will take time, let me run back inside. I ran back upstairs. Now I'm trying to, I tried to wake him up. he's not working. I'm like, okay, instead of me just waiting for the paramedics, let me do something to save my husband. Because remember, at that moment, I just said, you still have hope because the person is going to wake up. So I went upstairs, I did CPR. Then, that last breath, when somebody is letting out the last air, that's the sound that I made. Thank God, that moment I didn't know, Kuti. That's what happens when Monokanakutofa, that's the goodbye. I didn't know. Because if I had known, I don't know. I didn't know. So that gave me hope. Kuti is still alive. The paramedics, they came. And immediately they know Kuti Apasisina, but they can't just, they can't just say, ma'am, this is it. They like, oh, okay, ma'am, can you please step aside so that we can work on your husband? I'm like, okay, I was excited. I'm thinking, so the more time they took, the more hope that I had. Okay, if it was not working out, obviously they would have told me. So that gave me hope. So I think they took more than 45 minutes, those two guys. Remember this Indian lady, I think she called different paramedics. Now they were like in our complex there were two different ambulances. Then there were 3 outside out of the gates. So then like the second one came. Now it was the ladies. The first 2, they were like these 2 gentlemen. They are the ones who were like, ma'am, can you please step outside so that we can try work on your husbands? I remember that very well. And then like the 2 ladies came, like there were 2 white ladies. They came, they went upstairs. These 2 guys, they are still there. Still, those ones, they are taking time. Like, how do you come down and say to a young person, a young family, because they could see that moment our kids were not there, because the Indian lady, when she also came, I'm sure she could tell. So she took the kids. She's like, okay, I'm going to take the kids so that they can watch TV while they try work on the father and whatnot. I'm like, okay. So the kids, they were there. But obviously the paramedics, they saw my kids. Like, okay, how do you deliver those news? How do you tell such a small young family that, you know what, this is what had happened? So those 2 guys, they remained upstairs. Vauya Mashura Ndopane 1 akadzika. So adzika zvazvokutizwa now my I'd called I think I was with 2 of my cousins. We're about 3 now. There were 3 or 4 extra people at the house. I'm like, okay. So we're busy talking. I'm thinking, okay, they are busy, they are busy working on him. So the attention in Dandakapira masters. So the attention, the reaction from the other people, I could tell that somebody is by the steps. That's when I turned around and I could see Kuti, that lady, one of the paramedics, Angaka Njengam, like she had tears in her eyes. And I stood from Pandanda Kakara. Dekangomoti, please don't tell me my husband is gone. Those were my words. Lichotom Pusha running upstairs. I'm getting there. Like those 2 gentlemen, they're like, ma'am, we are very sorry. By the time that we got here, he was already gone. Then at that moment, you think, okay, you're still in shock. I'm like, no, my husband is not dead. I'm like, George, please wake up. Because his body was still home. I'm like, please wake up. I tried everything. I started shaking him. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to meet Rahasha, he's not going to wake up, because my husband was a very, very peaceful person. I'm like, okay. I started Kunyengerera, babe, can you please wake up? I started kissing him because he loved kisses. I'm like, babe, can you please wake up? Yvonne, there was nothing. I'm like, no, he's not dead. He's going to wake up. I'm like, George, if this is a prank or something, please, it's time to wake up.
And at that moment when all this is happening, there's obviously your only support was the Indian lady. Was she downstairs? Was
yes.
there had anyone that is close, actually really, really close to you, come by that time?
Yes, I'd remember my niece was there. Then there's my cousin sister, the older one, we call her Sis Modi. she was also there. Then, yeah, it was about like 4 closest people and the neighbors, because there was also this gentleman called George, Anogaram Complex Medu. He's the one who told me, you know what, no, just go upstairs and rub his hand, try to talk to him, he's gonna wake up. I think everyone had seen Kuti, you know. So, but Kwandiri, even after they pronounced him dead, Inini personally, I thought Kuti was gonna wake up.
So you talk about how this sad thing happened. Was there a bigger challenge after? Because usually if a person dies in that way, there'll always be questions. There'll always be people saying, what if A, B, C, D? You talk about even the video that had popped up to say, Mkadzwage, pa medication, I mean, this kuna prophet. What did you face after his death?
Yvonne, you know, people, they always talk. Because if a husband dies, obviously, like, they think it's their wife and vice versa. I don't know, ngori mentality of black people, and it's okay. But Kwantiri Inin from the family, or from his family, nobody really came to me. I would just hear, but Andy tells you based on kuti ndakanzwa kuti chakati cannot ndakanzwa kuti chakati cannot ndakanzwa kuti chakati. And like, I don't do things according. And one thing that I like, do you know, Kuti, like, in it, like I said, people, they see me on TikTok replying to people and whatnot. I'm very, very prayerful. So normally I don't know how to put it. But when people, they talk. If I tell you kuti pa TikTok muna singandizana ugona utokomenta kana utakaya ku DM, ndino ignore. I don't attend to my DM because the messages there are too much. So I don't reply. So mnangona utoboyika nongo kuti ndosaka ukauraya murume. It doesn't really move me anymore. But I want people to know that, like, no one loved George more than me. Like, I love my husband more than anything. And if I could, I would bring him back. But sadly, I can't. Nobody loved that man more than Inin. Not his family, not his fans, not anyone. Like, I loved my husband and he loved me.
And when you look at the whole situation leading up to his death, do you have any regrets on certain moves or certain things that happened along that process? Because obviously Munaka Shayaga, and it's such a sudden death. Sometimes you look back and you think, was there a sign? Could we have done this? When we heard this, could we have done this?
There was nothing that we could have done, because remember, this person was taking the medication and we all had hope he was cleared and whatnot. So, like, there was nothing. The only thing that I regret was, like, my husband was a giver and our house was always packed. Like, we always had people. George would rather take his last cent that's in the account to feed the other person. That was George for you. He had a good heart like that. Our house. So if there is next life out there, like, I know I would choose my husband still. Like, those are the things that I'll tell him, that, you know what, we don't really need people around. You don't really need to help each and every person. You don't really, because even family, van mekumba kwana George, aba umwenongwana ozitira life yake. So normally they were not in our space, but they would call and everything. If I tell you, Kuti, from his side, the only person that I talk to is my niece, my brother, who is in UK. She's the only person that checks up on us. Like his brothers, his sisters, I ended up blocking them on WhatsApp. I just created a group. And then I was like, okay, I'm not expecting you guys to come ne 10 rand kuti chingwa chichi. But you failed my husband when he was still there. you are failing his kids by not just, calling or coming to check up on them. Because everyone from the family, they knew. That's why I told you, Yvonne, no one would tell me how to mourn my husband or what to do. Because I'm the only person, when the news came, I'm the only person who was there. I personally called the family. I told them, okay, this is what happened and what not. I think the only person who come to see him was the sister here and there. So I'm not going to have anyone tell me how, when to stop mourning my husband, especially from both families. I'm not going to talk about his family only. I'm also going to talk about my family as well, because I feel that that's where I'm hurting the most, because my own family, George's money would work on my family, because but he made sure and in our house was always full. If I tell you why there is a voice note that leaked, the voice note of my auntie, I'm not gonna say a lot, she's old. I just felt like the daughter, the daughter Tracy should have done something better, because she's one person that I and George, we helped. Even when she was not working, we made sure the daughter would attend school and whatnot. If I tell you that there is a voice note that leaked between her and the mother, saying now tafanan kungoti situation yake iri worse asiwari shirikads. We're going those words, I remember each and every word. I'm thinking, is this my family? What did I do? What did George do? That message, I think it took me back when it comes to my healing process. The moment that I hear those words, it takes me back. Okay, God, did you have to take my husband so that I can get this, especially from my family? To me, it did not make sense. Could see, these are the people that I would help and whatnot. Why would you say such hateful kids? If I tell you, could see, from my family, I did cut almost everyone. I'm left with a few people that I know they genuinely love me, my nieces, their mother, and my circle is very, very small, because I felt George passed away so that I can see people's characters, so that I can see who is who, so that I can see who can be there and whatnot. When I'm saying there, Ivy, you can send me a message and say, no, how are you? How are the kids? That message can make my day. People, they should try to be nice out there. You don't know what I'm dealing with every day. You don't know what it feels like to walk in our house and George is not there. So people, even on social media,
they could be kinder.
They can just try to be kind.
And I think I won't try and pretend that I understand exactly everything that you're going through, but having lost my parents, especially my mom, I understand the process of how death sort of shows you who are your people and who are not. Death sort of shows you the chameleons and the real ones. So it's I guess it's part of our society that sometimes people have an impression of people, especially when you seem like, you've got it going on, you've got this popular, husband, you've got a good life, you've got nice kids. Like I said, your pictures online, I don't know what was happening behind the scenes in your house, but the picture of your family was always beautiful, was always love. And when you've got a husband who loves you so loud and is popular, maybe you can feel it, and then when death comes, it's an opportunity for them to then truly show their true colors. But in all of this, like you said, there's obviously been dynamos. For example, you were saying the fans have supported you. Are there any other people that have come in this process where you're trying to heal and been your support?
When you say support, Ivy, can you please elaborate on that?
Whether it's like you were saying, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's financial. Are there people that you feel like these people have had my back from the day that this man stopped breathing until now? Everything that I've gone through, they've been by my side.
No. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I'm not here to cover anyone's back, or I'm not here to tell lies. I'm not here to, like I said, the world, they don't owe me anything. The person that they loved is gone. So they don't owe me anything. So if you had to say, like, I've one lady, my friend, Melissa, she's the person we could see when I'm emotionally not okay. Like I said, people on TikTok, they can see me and think, okay, ato peds chema and whatnot. There are days that I still break down. I call my friend, we stay 13 minutes away from each other. If I'm to call and say, Mel, I'm not okay, she will drive, she will come to my house. Like, she's one person whom has been there for me, like emotionally, even financially sometimes when I'm down, because it goes down sometimes. And my nieces, obviously, they call to check up on me, like my couple of friends, referral, Vanessa, they check up on me here and there. But the people that you're thinking, no.
So shout out to Melissa Lang, right?
Yes,
she's the one who's been by your side. Yes. Melissa, we've got stories for days because you remember Durban and now we're going around Durban. So when you talk about situation here, the death surrounding your husband, we have to go back to your daughter and being the first one to figure it out, that something was wrong. How has that affected her? Because like I said, even on the pictures online, George used to post a lot with his daughter. They had a deep connection.
So it's still not easy. It was not easy. Like, it took a lot of counseling. Like when we speak, I think I left one person as well. Like George had this friend. He's South African. He's not a soccer player. And when's Morgan? So Morgan said to us, you know what? Even if it's gonna take you a year, go to Mende for counseling, I'll cover that. Because Tino was drained. And the fact that she doesn't talk about things, it made it worse. So when we went for counseling the first time, the therapist was like, you know what, this child, she's bottling up a whole lot of things. So we're then forced to keep taking for counseling. Like, we'd go together. Like every week, Morgan would pay for our counseling because it was not cheap. I think the three of us per week, if we go twice a week, we needed about, because for the kids it was 1,000 for session. So if we go twice a week, the three of us, it was about 6.2, because for me it was 1,100 for kids. So imagine 6.2 every week. And we went for counseling till I could tell that, you know what, my situation, for me personally, like, it's not gonna work. It's just someone sitting and trying to talk to me, talking something that's not making sense to me. So I left Tino. Like, Tino kept on going because it was not easy. Like, the question that my daughter would ask Yvonne was like, but I spoke to Daddy that morning. I just went to shower. What really happened? And when your kids are asking you and you don't have answers. And I feel one thing with my kids, they feel they need to protect me. Instead of me protecting them, they feel they need to protect me. They are very, very overprotective. So they feel the need to protect me. That's my kids for you. And the other one, I remember there was a time that I just cried. It was because George died on the 15th of November. Tanotso's birthday is on the 29th. So Mana Pesa Bait did Varudzoka. Moswe birthday, that's when she was like, Mom, I thought Daddy was going to be here on my birthday. When is he coming back from heaven? Yvonne, what do they call it? Can I saw, I saw my world collapsing in a matter of, So those are some of the things. It's a process. It's a whole lot. I can sit with you for 24 hours. It's just a whole lot. A whole lot is going on behind the scenes.
I see one of the things that people talk about a lot on TikTok is your tattoo. You've got a humongous tattoo of George. We obviously can't show it because it's on the thigh. You've got a humongous tattoo of George. Why was it important for you? Why did you have that tattoo? Why is it important for you to have that very big tattoo of George?
Me and my husband, we have always been big fans of tattoos. Because I'm sure the people that know George like that, he had our faces, like my face, his face, Tino, Tanatwa, and I know people are going to ask me about my other daughter. I don't stay with my other daughter. She comes here and there, like Nico. And yeah, I like that was George's daughter, things happened when we started dating. And so I know people, they're going to ask about, how people are. I don't stay with my other daughter. She stays with the other mom. But he had our faces, me, Tino, Tanatswa himself. So for me, the funny thing about my tattoo, Yvonne, is I had it done 2 weeks after my husband's passing. It's not like I had our family portrait when he was there. I had it done after.
Why was it important at that moment for you to have that mark on your body?
Like this is my family. He might not be here, but he'll always be a part of my life. And the fact that I had it done, like even the therapist, when I went for counseling, the therapist was like, do you know with time you need to move on with your life? I'm like, it's something at that moment you're not even thinking about, moving on and whatnot. But it's a decision that I made. It's a decision. I sat through it myself and I told myself, but you know what, even if I'm going to move on with my life after 10 years, whoever comes, I'm not going to cover. It's one thing, like if Mr. Right or if the second soulmate is out there, like they must just know that I'm not going to cover my tattoo.
You answered my question before I asked the question, because that was my next question. Because not only do you have that, I also saw a G right on your foot there, and I'm thinking, you're grieving. Mm-hmm. You were with this guy for a long time. You loved each other loudly, and at the moment, it will seem like there will never be another person. Then somewhere down the line, soulmate number 2 comes. And you've got this huge thing on your thigh and on your leg.
How am I going to handle it?
How are you going to handle that?
I'm so glad you said soulmate number 2. Meaning the person knows. Because everyone, like people, they know, they have seen it. But then like, if I'm to move on with my life, my biggest fear about moving on, Yvonne, is taking my husband's pictures down the hall. Because if you walk into my house, like there are pictures of him everywhere, his trophies and whatnot. That's my biggest fear of moving on with my life, like taking down everything. So I say to myself, one thing that I can put on myself, I'm one person who can be bullied. So obviously, like let's say I remarry, of which a relationship I think I can have remarrying, I don't know. I don't think so. But if it happens, it happens. Like, this is a tattoo that's on my body. How is it affecting the next person? Because the pictures...
No, like I'm just imagining if I'm a man, right? Even if we were to get intimate, like no matter how turned on you are, it will just turn you off because it's so huge. And like I said, right now, it's not a discussion, an argument we can have because it's so fresh. It hasn't been here since George left, and at the moment, it feels right. But I can't wait 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line for us to revisit this conversation about. Because guys, you need to go on her TikTok. That's where you can see the tattoo. It's huge.
Why, like if you wanna get through to me, like. Okay, I think I'm giving out a tip. If you want to go through to me, like, I don't know if it's acting, like my tattoo mustn't. Jealous. I'm not saying I'm gonna bring his pictures to your house and put them on your wall. I'm like, at least allow me to keep this. At least allow me to remember the person that, you know, that changed my life, that touched my life in a way that I can't even explain. At least, like, it's on my body. That was the whole reason, Yvonne. I was like, okay, if I'm to move on with my life, apana munhu wekuti ndinoenda nemapicture nematrophy George nechi maybe in kids bedrooms kana kuti wana munhu ari understanding. You know how people are. So if you want to get through to me, you just say, your family portrait, you get my attention, Shem. Like the person that I'm talking to, like the person that I'm entertaining right now, like I started talking to that person because of my tattoo. Like, you know, I'm in love with your tattoo. Then you have my attention. I would drop everything. I would reply you. But you can't say, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen where?
So I know it's fresh, but I'm just gonna ask out of curiosity. Have you started dating?
No, not yet.
Do you see yourself dating anytime soon?
Maybe, yeah. Like I said, I'm talking to someone. We are getting to know each other. It's not a relationship. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not seeing anyone. I'm still broken. I don't think moving on it's gonna be. I don't want somebody else to suffer because of what I'm going through. But if I get somebody who understands me, and this could munagafiro. Because I know what it feels like to
broke
be broken.
Plus broke.
Yeah,
it's two very broken people.
So if I get somebody who understands me, who knows, okay, there are days like on George's birthday, our anniversary, whatnot. There are days that I'm gonna wake up in this report.
So that's the other thing I wanted to ask you to say. Okay, besides the birthday, the anniversaries, are there things that trigger you? Like you could be having a beautiful day, you're in a good mood, and then something just triggers you.
Yes, a lot.
Like what, for example?
Like his car, like just getting into his car because like I'm driving his car, like his car, because like I can just go per shopping center. I want something quickly. Those guys when upaki motor, they will come. My first day, some of them they would cry, like how he would touch the roof. I chenda pa my stairs like it's a whole lot. Soccer, if I tell you kuti munondona ku stadium when Zimbabwe is playing and you think I'm okay, sometimes I even cry. I no longer watch soccer per TV like I used to. Like his voice, just going through those voice notes or his interviews and whatnot, because I miss him. I miss his voice. George was one person who would call a wifey.
And being a person who's never been through something like this, and like when you go to sleep, like sleep for us is a time to rest, and you sleep, is it the same bed you used to sleep or you changed the bed?
The bed I had to give it away, but still it's one in the same thing. If I tell you I started sleeping recently, so what I would do, like I think the first year after he was gone, I would be awake the whole night. And the reason for me being awake, I was like, because now I sleep with my kids. I had to move them from their rooms. I sleep with them. So like I would be awake. Are they still breathing? Because my fear was, what if I sleep and something will happen to them? So when I was at school run, that's when I would sleep. Ndo set alarm yangu. Ndo sorara. I would rest there.
So financially, how were you coping? Were you working? Were you a well taken care of housewife?
I was a well taken care of housewife, but I would do my side hustles. I would like buy bags, shoes, deliver them to people. I have my own people they order things from me, but I'll do that for fun. Like I used to go to China. I even tried parts the business parts and whatnot, or that, like, when something fails and une backup. That was me. And remember when George passed on, like that contract and that it was not signed. Meaning ku Supersport, there was no money coming from Supersport. Then we had to dig into our savings, because like we had the house that we were paying points that would pay 30,000 per month. I think 29.9 per month. So we had to dig into our savings. The kids, they were going to school. We are still digging in those savings. There is no income coming. In any matter, 2 minutes, it's not like it will cover the house, all the bills and whatnot. And when you're saving, you don't save for 50 years, Yvonne, unless if you really made it in life. You can't save for 50 years. So like that money was able to, that period there was no contract. We were okay. And after his passing, what then happened, because I didn't want to be in SA. It was too much for me. What I then did is, like, there was money. Remember, I would get paid. I would get my allowance from George for like taking care of them, like a school run. I'd my allowance and whatnot. So the money was the other money. I think I'd bought a stand earlier on using my allowance that I would get from him. So what then happened, I wanted to get out of South Africa. I didn't want to be in South Africa. So the first thing that I thought of was, okay, let me go to Ireland. And like I have this my sister-in-law an agent and whatnot. If I tell you Kuti, I wasted money for nothing, you think I something the chungonza should quit. This is the first person, and another one comes. I think it was 5,000. Because now you really wanna go, not because of money but because of your mental health. So I was like, okay, maybe Europe is not meant for me. But remember, I've wasted money. Van Vayenda, my agent, they would make them pay, because I think Weku Island, it was about 4,000 US. Then like my health insurance, like the money that I used in SA to just gather everything that they wanted, it was too much. The second one wanted about 6,000 US. It's me like using money thinking, okay, we are gonna go. Then it did not happen. So it's just me doing, my business, my side business, delivering a few things to the people so that the kids can, we can.
So are you financially sound?
Not really. The way that I was used to, living, and now I'm the mother, I'm the father. I need to make sure that, those kids, they are okay. So I was thinking, I was like, you know what, business-wise, Zim will work for me. If I tell you, Kuti, I've started putting together something, goat farming. I don't know, for some reason, I think I totally need to change goat farming. That's why I'm always in Zim a lot. That's the whole idea for me. Even mentally, I think home is best for me because I'm mentally not okay.
So probabilities you're going to come back home?
Definitely.
All the best.
Thank you.
Hoping that things work out for you. It's a good thing, at least if you didn't, because Rufu is huge, especially when it's sudden. You might find yourself on the street from the high life, because like you're saying, parents buy my savings, I shot my savings forever and ever.
Yvonne, I'm not even going to lie to you. It was like, there's just a whole lot. That's why I said a whole lot will be happening behind the scenes. It's not, that's why I said when people see me be happy, or if you see me on TikTok, please just be happy for me. It's not,
It's like our society says, she don't go get said. And then for men, I don't think they put that pressure on men that lose their wives. But when you're the wife, it's like, if I see you smiling or having a TikTok, why are you doing a TikTok video? And it's like, dude, it's been 2 years. It's not like my life is just gonna stop.
I think when the society I think when because some of the words, if I was not a strong person, those were pindre. Lately I don't answer. But I just don't want to be disrespected that you come to my page and you just feel the need to comment, on my it doesn't work like that. And one thing about Rufu, and the they will remember how they, and these are the people that you don't even know. Osha would say, okay, guys, do you think you loved that man more than Inin?
But before I go, there's a question that I asked you earlier on. Do you find that to say, because you dated a football player before and then you were married to a football player, do you get that people that still have that perception and which maybe she wasn't straight because she went from one footballer to another, when they attack you, do they attack you about that, or is just about circumstances surrounding the death of George?
They don't attack me based on my previous relationship, because at the end of the day, Munesana ex, maybe Nini Mariwan Vanoda Kutsinti, I'm not supposed to date Van Masnamazita, though I don't think so they can't attack me based on my Indiana ex. Indiana and Dinamuswanda Gamboyandika is on perfect. And Dinamuswanda Gamboyandika and Dina ex. Kana kuti George was my first, or and and in I think, do you know kuti, it's very funny how I meet those people. I'm not like those people they go cannot no, these people, they look for me. If I tell you some of the people that I talk to, like they have names. Those are the people that that come to me and whatnot. So they it's not fair for me to be attacked based on that. But they don't, because it's only a few people that knows that the ex and the current. Like, come on, like you come to my social media, you tell me like stories, chikat. Zvakafanana nevanhu vanenge vachiti tomuvha ordinary life tinotongopindura kuti kumba kwenyu kune mahuri akachengetedza marriage for 11 years. I was married for 11 years, YV, and ndamusi wandakadzoswa ndichinzi mukadzi wangu achiti, and ndamusi wakagariswa vanhu vekumba kwedu dare vachinzi zvoni might know this, might know that. So they need to put some respect on my name.
What a way to end it. Put some respect on her name. So before you go, I like to usually give my guests an opportunity. If there's anything that I haven't asked that you're like, I really wanted to speak about this is your time. Is there anything that I didn't ask, anything that you wanted to articulate?
I think you've asked almost everything, YV. I just want to say thank you very much to everyone, especially some of the people that follow me on social media. I might not be able to reply
stalkers like me.
I might not be able to reply each and every comment, because I have about 44,000 followers on TikTok. So I might not be able to, reply all of you, but I see all your messages. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for checking up on us. And all you can do is go follow my Facebook page, Maitino Chikova, because I would really love to. Okay, let's talk about this, Yvonne, because I've women who come kudiem kwangu vanenge vakafirwa. Mighty know people, they think I'm strong out there. They don't know kutizoni, of which it's okay. The fact that I can help the other person, I think that's okay for me. There are people vanoya ku inbox kwangu, like Mighty know how are you doing it. So one day I would really love to sit down with one of the young widows, and we just talk about life. We just vakadzi vakafirwa vanobatsirirwa, Yvonne. I feel kuti zvoni I want when I'm mentally okay, I'm slowly getting there. When I'm mentally okay, I want to be the voice of the voiceless. I want to be the voice of those women. And yeah, so people must go follow my Facebook page, my Tino Chigova, and also just support my business that I'm starting. And to the women out there who are going through the same, or who have lost their partners and whatnot, I'm sending them lots of hugs, and they must just remember to pray. And could see pain, we live with the pain for the rest of our lives, but we just need to learn how to live with it.
All the best, Mighty No, and hopefully you move on someday and you find love again. Because like you said, doesn't mean good if your partner dies, you also have to die. There's life to live. You've got kids to take care of, and hopefully things will work according to plan. And thank you for coming on the show. Like, thank you. She had it's a very brief stay in Zim, right? And I'm so glad that you came on the show and were able to talk.
Thank you so much, Yvonne, for having me.
We'd only had like a brief, our first time to meet each other was like a very brief encounter in Durban. And we were like, we won't tell you the story, but we were driving around. So all the best. Hopefully that things work out for you and you travel safely back to the kids. And much love to Tino. I hope she grows and gets out of this. And now you know I used to stalk you. Hey, I used to stalk you from the time. That was the Tino Biki. Georgia Chimposta.
No, Ivy, thank you so much. And to my kids, thank you for being my big support system. If it wasn't for my girls, I don't think I'll be here. To Nicole, Tino, and Tanatswa, I love you guys so much. I'll see you soon.
So thank you. Until the next time, we'll bring another sporting personality, hoping that you're getting insight into some of these football stories, the people behind the people that we know, because sometimes a lot of you probably were fans of George and didn't understand the story behind the scenes and all that was said after his death. Hoping that you got clarity on today's show. And next week, same time, same place, we'll have another guest giving us their story. Goodbye.